Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have James. James is from Scotland in the UK. So let's see what James has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, James. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the
Oh no,
interview.
thank you for reaching out. Thank you.
So tell me, how was your day today?
It's been busy. My work's a bit stressful at the moment, but it's all good. I work from home, so I can have plenty of time to. I can take a walk outside or just a deep breath and come back to it. So basically, what I'm looking at just now, you is my view all day. I just look at these two monitors that's in front of me all day.
Oh, thanks for taking the time for the interview after a long day of work. Thanks. And and what do you do for work, for a living?
I'm a recruitment manager for an agency.
Mm-hmm.
So I recruit temporary staff for financial institutions.
And tell me where you're from, James.
I am originally from Glasgow in Scotland.
Born and raised?
Born and raised. Yep.
So tell me, what was the biggest joy of growing up in Glasgow, in Scotland?
I grew up in a little bit. I wasn't in the city of Glasgow, so I was in a place called Moodiesburn just outside Glasgow. And I think the biggest joy is all my family lived in the one village. So you couldn't walk one street without meeting a cousin, an auntie, an uncle, your gran. So I got brought up, and it was from a really big family. So I think that was the main thing. We were very close, and yeah, that's all I remember from being younger. Just family around me all the time.
Amazing. And all your family still lives in Glasgow?
Yeah, all my family still live on the west coast. I now live on the east coast of Scotland. So yeah.
I see. And so tell me, right now, living in Glasgow right now, it's a place where, you can have a lot of options, you have a lot of things going on, like the weekends, or sometimes can be a quiet city.
Um, I don't really live in Glasgow. I don't live in Glasgow now. I live closer to Edinburgh now.
Okay.
So if I was going out in Edinburgh, oh, I might get into trouble for saying this publicly. I always say Glasgow's the party city and Edinburgh is the pretty city. So if you want to party, you head to Glasgow. If you want somewhere pretty and a quieter evening, Edinburgh's your place to be. So, and I'm kind of in the middle of them, so I can go both ways. I've got the best of both worlds, as they would say.
Amazing. Okay, James. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far. Okay?
Okay.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I'd like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Um, wow. Something interesting about myself. I well, with this little emblem here, last year I won it's a bear event we have in Scotland, and I won Mr. Bear Scots last year. So I'm the current reigning Mr. Bear Scots 2024. So I'm near enough halfway through my reign. So that's probably something quite interesting about me.
That's very interesting for sure. And actually, I made a note here to talk about it. So tell
Okay.
me, let's start the interview talking about your title, Mr. Bear Scots 2024. So tell me
Mhm.
when the idea came along. Tell me when you decide to sign up for it.
Well, I kind of was pushed into it more than I wanted to do it. So one of my friends was Mr. Bear Scots 2 years ago, and he said to me, "Oh, you should go for it." And he's very good friends with my other half, and he thought, "Oh, go for it. You'll really enjoy it." And I was like, and I'd been to one of the events, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could go on stage." And even though I wasn't bothered about not winning it, I don't have a good loser face either. So I was like, if I don't win, I will have a really bad loser face. So I can't hide it. But they pushed me and pushed me, and then I thought, do you know what? I've done a lot of things the last few years. I thought I'd never do. What's the worst that can happen? And I went for it and won it.
That's amazing. I love those, life opportunities when you go like, you know what, let me try and see how it goes, and suddenly you just get the prize. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a really good weekend.
And how long was the whole journey for you, from it seems to you sign up until the end?
Well, this is the thing. They don't do it too early, so it was only a couple of weeks before the actual event, which was quite good because it meant you were less nervous about it.
Uh-huh.
So basically, you just they asked you a few questions, and then they whittled it down to a final six, and then you do a full weekend. It's a weekend of events, but you don't promote yourself. You're just more used. I don't like to use the word used, but yeah, you are used as like a welcoming people into the city where they hold it and making people feel comfortable. So, and then on the last day, you need to do a few things to try and encourage votes. So, had to
Um,
perform a bit on stage.
and the event was hosted in Glasgow, Edinburgh.
It's hosted in Edinburgh every year. The main one is hosted in Edinburgh. Yep, every year.
I
Yep.
see. Amazing. James, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah. Let's go for
Amazing.
it.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. I'm just
Okay.
gonna play a song this first to relax before the first question. Okay?
Yeah, cool.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, I always can change, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. Okay, first question is, what are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
Oh, I really want to visit the Far East, so I really want to go to Singapore and Japan. That's something I really want to do. I would love to go and live in Gran Canaria because I've lived there kinda before, on and off. And the last one. Oh, that's a third one. Hmm. I do like to travel. I think I'd like to go to Australia as well because I've got family in Australia, so I'd like to go
Wow.
there at some point. But it's not just round the corner. That's a big planning journey to go to Australia.
So tell me, which one do you think is going to happen first?
Singapore and Japan, more than likely.
Wow. And why this fascination about Singapore and Japan?
So there's two reasons. So one of them, Singapore, is I watched a program from years ago, and it was called Tenko, and it's weird how I've got to, but it was set in Singapore, but during World War II. But there's
Uh-huh.
just something about it, the whole Raffles Hotel, that I thought, do you know what, that just looks so interesting to see. So that was it. And Japan was, I've got 3 children, and my youngest child, who was a little boy, passed away unfortunately, and he loved Nintendo. And one of the things he used to always go on about was Japan. So I was like, I need to go. He never got to go, so I'd love to go and experience it for him. So that's why I would really love to go to Japan as well.
That's sweet, very sweet, James.
Yeah.
Actually, it's interesting saying that because, I always wanted to go to Japan as well. It's something that I really want to go one day. I always been fascinated about their culture. I think they're ahead of us, like they're
Yeah,
very polite.
light years.
Yes. I used to work in a hotel before in London, and we had, people from all over the world. And the Japanese, when they were arriving, oh my God, the way they look at you, the way they are very kind, very polite. And I was like, my God, how is possible? I've always been very fascinated as well about the Japanese culture for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. Next question, let's do it. Hey, James, next question is, if you could go back in time in one moment or memory in your life for any reason, what that would be and why?
I don't know if there's an exact moment, But I think I would like to go back and probably talk to my younger self when I was maybe about 19, 20.
Okay.
And I wasn't very confident when I was younger. And I think that made me let people walk all over me a little bit at some points in my life. And I'd love to go back and say, stand up for yourself a bit more. And you don't always have to be the yes man and agree to everything. So I think I would go back to my younger self and say that.
I love that, James. I love that. And tell me, when was the turn point that you kind of realized that, okay, I need to, to be different. I need to stand up for myself. When was the moment?
It was probably because I was married for 13 years, and it was probably the toughest decision I ever made, but the best decision I ever made as well. So yeah.
I see. And so I believe that you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you okay to talk about it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Completely, yeah.
So I believe that, so before you were married, and so after that you kind of start your let's say your journey of the community, or not?
Yeah, after, yeah, definitely. It was after I joined the community, yeah.
I see. And did you know about it? Did you always felt like, no, it was just something that you
No,
kind of, yeah.
not maybe when I was a lot younger, I kind of thought maybe no, but it's weird to describe because it was a different. I know it doesn't sound that long ago, but it was a different time. The late 80s, early 90s. Anybody you heard about being gay was dying. That was all
Yeah.
you heard. Any person you heard being gay was dying on TV. That was it. And I was from a little mining village and all that, so it was kind of maybe the thought did cross my mind, but it wasn't a thing. But it wasn't until after I split up with my wife when it happened. So I was like, oh, this seems right. And I went,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's how it kind of happened.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it.
I love your dancing.
You like you like that as well?
Love it.
Right. So before the next question, let's go back to the your title as Mr. Bear Scott 2024. It's going to be two questions in one. So the first part of the question is, what did you like the most about, since when you started, since you signed up for it until the end of the journey? And the second part of the question is, did you think you could win when you sign up for it? And when I was checking your profile a little bit, I could see the video where your name was announced, and I could see like your emotions there. So tell me a little bit. So what did you like the most, and did you think you could win?
What I like the most is I've got to speak to people from all over the world. It's like opened so many doors. Like I've heard from people in America, from all over Europe, Thailand, everything. And I think that's what I'm loving most about it, talking to people. And one of the things I said why I would like to win was I feel there's people still lonely in the world after COVID and still scared to come out. And part of Bear Scots is they run Bear Socials in Glasgow and Edinburgh every month. And I do tell people just come along and tap me on the shoulder, say hello to me because I'm at most of them. So that's what I like about it more, because you kind of do get to speak to people, and just smiling or some words to someone can make someone's day. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's what I like. Did I ever think I was going to win? No, definitely not. Even when the names were getting read out, because they read out the top three, and when they read number two, who was the one I thought was going to win, I was like, oh no, I've not even finished in the top three. I was like, so I was very shocked when I won it.
Oh. So tell me the feeling when when you heard your name. The winner is James. Tell me the feeling.
It's so bizarre because I can't really remember it. And it was funny because you liked the video, and I've not watched the video much. And I watched it again when you'd liked it. And it was, I can't really remember. I just remember thinking, oh, sugar, I've got to do this for a full year now. Like, and
Oh,
it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming.
oh wow, amazing. Okay. Next question is, what's the most meaningful gift have ever received?
Most meaningful gift I've ever received. I would say one of the most meaningful things I've got was my ex and I didn't have the best of breakups, so I didn't come away with a lot. And one thing I was gutted about is I didn't have anything of my little boys that passed away. And we kind of put our differences aside, and we still don't get on great, but she gave me a set of his pajamas. So
Uh-huh.
I've got a set of his pajamas which just sit up the stairs, and that's probably the most meaningful. I would never, I would break my heart if anything ever happened to them. They never really get taken out of the bag, but I know they're there, and that's probably one of the most meaningful things that I've got.
Wow, that's beautiful, James. And what's the biggest joy of being a dad?
Um, so my daughters are 22 and 19. Now, I know.
Oh my, you have a 22 years old daughter. Oh my
Yeah, I've
God, I
got my
could
daughter.
never tell. I could never
Thank
tell.
you.
Wow.
Well, the oldest is 22 next week, and my youngest is 19. My youngest daughter's 19. I think now seeing them growing into young women and being independent is shows you what a good job their mum done, and with us being separated for the adult part of their life and me not being around much, they've done so well for themselves. They both run their own little mini businesses. Well, actually, the youngest one runs her own business now,
Amazing.
and that does make you proud. Thinking, do you know what, we've done something right, that they're able to stand on their own, both their 2 feet, and get on with their lives as well.
Wow. Okay, so both of them, they're watching this interview right now. When you have a moment and opportunity to send them a message, what would you say?
God. Um, I would say to them, I'm just so proud of them. Like, they've turned into beautiful young women, and I know myself and my ex-wife are very, very proud of what they can do, and they put up with a lot in their lives, and to turn out the way they have is just incredible. It is just amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful. And for you, being a gay guy, did you kind of have to have a conversation with them and they kind of, accept, or something that you never talked about it?
It wasn't at the time, because it was during COVID. I never seen them much, and as I
Mhm.
said, it was a bit of a strained relationship as well with their mother. Um, it was kind of not talked about, but as the years have went on now, I've got a partner now. We're engaged, so it's just as their norm now. They don't have any issues with it. Though I think they get embarrassed with me sometimes, especially with the Mr. Bear Scots thing, because obviously your parents are always embarrassing. So, like, Dad, why are you going out and you're 43 and you're out in pubs till 2 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, I'm not old. So, but they think I'm old. Yeah.
Oh, sweet, very sweet. Next question, ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Next one.
Yeah.
Do you like dancing, James?
When I'm drunk. I'm a great dancer when I'm drunk, not when I'm drunk, not when I'm sober.
Next question is, what motivates you the most in life?
What motivates me? Do you know what? I've said about my little boy that passed away, that he motivates me, because you just never know when your time comes. That's it. Like, that's why I'm just now, like, I'm like, sod it, let's do it. What's the word?
Mm.
Might not be here tomorrow. Could walk outside and get hit with a bus. So he does motivate me every day. Like, when I have down days, I'm like, oh, he'd have just got him done this. So yeah.
And saying that, what's the meaning of life for you?
Like, I think it's just to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just be happy and enjoy it. Like, as I said, you don't know how long you're going to be here. Enjoy it.
And do you think happiness is a choice?
Yes, that is a choice.
Why is that?
I think if you don't want to be something, you'll convince yourself not to be it. So if you don't want to be happy, you'll convince yourself not to be happy. And there is
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, there's stuff that gets you down some days, but there's always stuff in a day that, try not to concentrate on the negative, concentrate on the positive. I mean, it might be one little thing that's happened that day. It could deal with all the rest of it. And at the end of the day, someone always says, like, if it didn't kill you, what's the big
Totally.
deal? No one died. Move on.
When you have been the most happy, do you think nowadays you are feeling your happy life, your happiest life right now?
Yes, I've never been happier. Never been happier. I'm with my new partner now. We're engaged. We got engaged at the end of last year.
Wow.
And he's probably one of the, I hate to, because he's going to see this and it's going to all sound all slushy and soppy, but he's probably one of the best things, he is one of the best things that's happened to me. He's changed me so much over the last couple of years. It's unbelievable. Done.
Wow. And he's from Scotland as well?
Yes, he's from Fife in Scotland.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. I think you want to dance. I can see that you want to dance with me. I can feel it.
If my children are going to see this, William, they don't want to see me dancing on camera.
James, before the next question, as I could see your eyes shining talking about your partner. So tell me, how did your path cross?
We met on Tinder.
Oh,
So, I it's actually quite a funny story. So we met on Tinder. We spoke for maybe a week or so. And we chose to meet up, and it was just at Christmas. So we were choosing to meet at the Christmas market in Edinburgh.
wow.
But the night before was my office Christmas night out. So I was probably not the freshest on that day, and I was so close to cancelling the date.
Ooh.
So close, and I don't cancel things. I'm like, I don't want to, because it was like literally an hour before the date when I woke up, and I was like, no. So we went and had the date. We were together for 7 hours that day, and then when we were going our separate ways, I was like, oh, what are you doing tonight? He's like, oh, I'm going out in Edinburgh. And I was like, oh, I'm going out in Edinburgh tonight. Where are you going? He's like, where are you going? And we were going to the same event. So we met each other again that night. So, and it just kind of worked out. And we said it was coming up to Christmas. We probably won't see each other that much. But any chance we got to see each other, we done it. And then Christmas Day was my first Christmas on my own. And he's not got, his mum and dad have passed away now, and he was on his own as well. So I said, do you want to come around Christmas night? And it's just went from strength to strength. And we moved in together a year ago it'll be a year ago next week.
Wow. Oh my God. And I saw the video as well. I think he was proposing or you proposed?
I proposed to him, yeah.
Yes, I saw the video, the picture. Saying that, what's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference is I stress and he doesn't stress. He's so relaxed. It stresses me out how much he's relaxed. And what our similarities are, we've probably got the same taste. We've got the very same taste in music. It's questionable our taste in music, but we've probably got the same taste in music.
Interesting. Okay. Next question is, what would your ideal life look like?
I think I'm on the road to it. Like, I'm very content at the moment. As I said, one day I'd love to go back to Gran Canaria and stay there, because I just love the island. So yeah, I'm quite content with the way things are going. So yeah.
I love Gran Canaria as well. I've been a few times there. It's such a great place. It's really relaxing. People, they are so chilled. You meet people from all over Europe, you know what I mean? There's so many events happening through the year, and I think it's a great place. I try to go as well once a year, and to relax and, meet new people, and it's great. It's a great place to be, for sure.
Definitely, yep.
When you think about James, when you analyze James, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being James?
I like being ginger. Like, I actually really like being ginger. And I like that. I think I'm good at supporting and motivating people. Sometimes I should take some of my own advice, but I feel like I'm good at supporting people and motivating them.
Do you have blue eyes?
I have blue eyes, yes.
Yes, I could spot the spots. And what's your star sign of astrology, James?
Cancer.
Cancer. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Next question is, I think this one is going to be very, very easy for you. What's the best first date have you ever been on?
Oh, it's one with my current partner.
Of course,
100%.
you already
100%.
answered that.
And I'm not daft. If I didn't answer that, that would have been a big argument.
Okay, I'm gonna get another one for you. Right. Next question is, what gives you butterflies?
Ooh, what gives me butterflies? Ah, the unknown. When I'm going to do something I don't know about, I get really bad butterflies
Yeah,
in my stomach. Good butterflies is probably when I've not seen my other half for a few days, because I go back to Glasgow and that, and getting to see him again is always exciting.
I see. Tell something. When you think about 2024, yeah, the year just gone. My God, we're gonna be March very soon. This year started very
Crazy.
fast. When you look back, tell me about the highlights of 2024 for you. When you look back.
Moving in with my other half was
Uh
a
huh.
huge highlight. Never thought I would live in Fife, but here I am living in Fife in Scotland.
Wow.
Um, Going our first holiday together, going to events all over the UK, winning Mr. Bear Scots,
Uh
having our
huh.
first Christmas together, living together. Yeah, it was a very eventful year, 2024.
What season of the year you feel more connected with?
Oh, I would say the older I've got is summer,
Mm-hmm.
which is surprisingly being ginger. We don't really like the sun, but I like the heat. The sun doesn't like me, but I like the heat. So I would say the summer because I hate being cooped up in the house all the time. I hate being stuck in. And obviously, we don't get a lot of daylight in Scotland. So the summer, we have a lot more daylight. So I think your mood changes in the summer as well.
I see. Tell me something. What is the difference? The biggest difference? You already said about Glasgow and Edinburgh. Yeah, the
Mhm.
difference. And do you think the city you live right now is you said Faith?
I love it. It's areas called Fife. So it's about 20
Faith.
minutes from Edinburgh.
I see. And tell me something interesting about the area. It's something that stands out.
Um, about Fife. Well, we have St Andrews University where Prince William and Kate met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they met in St Andrews. Yep.
Oh my God!
Um, yep.
Wow.
And oh, what's his name? And the Carnegie Hall in New York. Andrew Carnegie's got a lot to do with the town of Dunfermline. So
Wow.
that's. I probably should know a lot more about Fife that I live here, but I don't.
I think because you are very involved with your fiance. I think your eyes just in him right now, and after you're gonna look around. Two questions left. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before the next question, holding a title, Mr. Bear Scott. They say right, Mr. Bear Scott. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holding a title, it's something that, for example, you have some duties through the year, it's something that you need to achieve, and how does it work?
It's quite relaxed. I don't need to do anything if I don't want to. I always get the choice. So they run an Edinburgh and Glasgow Bear Social on the first and second Saturdays of the month. So Glasgow's the first Saturday, Edinburgh's the second Saturday. So I try to go to them as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
They're running a new event this year called Bear Scots West, which is going to be in Glasgow. So I'll be doing that this year to help them
Okay,
out. And obviously I'll be at Bear Scots in October to crown the new Mr. Bear Scots. And we also do that. They do ask if we can do Glasgow Pride and Edinburgh Pride, do the parade or the march. So yeah, and if I can, and they do. You don't have to, but if I'm going to other bear events, like I'll be at Bear Carnival in April. No, yeah, April in Gran Canaria. I'll go and I'll represent Mr. Bear Scots. I'll have my sash on and that, which I'm terrified I'm going to lose, but
where's your sash?
it's up the stairs.
Oh, I thought I would see it. I thought you'd come.
Oh, do you know what? Everyone keeps saying you've always got that sash on. I was like, no, I'm always at events that I wear the sash to. I don't just wear it about the house hoovering. Well, I do sometimes. No, I don't.
And how do you see being gay in Scotland overall, like in Glasgow, Edinburgh? Do you think it's safe? You can be your truly self, or sometimes can be a bit tricky?
It can be tricky at times. I feel safer in Edinburgh than what I do in Glasgow, but I don't know. I'm not saying that's Glasgow. I don't know if that's just because of my past in Glasgow. I feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is certain places in Glasgow I wouldn't dare hold my other half's hand. And there's probably places like that in Edinburgh as well. But I think I still have an awareness about you where you can hold your other half's hand. Even in Edinburgh, you're still like, oh, can I hold his hand there? Or
I see.
is anyone going to say anything? Which is shocking. But I would say Scotland is probably is very forward thinking compared to other areas. And I'm not taking anything away from other areas in the UK, but it's
Mm-hmm.
very noticeable how Scotland is kind of going that way and some of the UK is going that way. But hopefully we can all come together. Just have a laugh.
Okay, next question is, what makes you feel discouraged?
I think sometimes I let minor incidents push me back. Like
Uh-huh.
things I can't control, it's shocking. Like, well, that's really, really bad. That's happening. I'm like, that's the smallest thing ever. You couldn't control it. Like,
Right.
like I let the uncontrollable control me sometimes. So I think
You,
that's
yeah, yeah, carry on. That's
yeah, I
what
think
makes you.
that's what does it to me. Just minor things like can discourage me a little bit.
I see. Last question, ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Last one. You think like, oh my God, this crazy guy just danced in front of me.
Yeah, because there's no sound. Can't hear the sound.
Right, before the last question, when you when you finish your, your year being Mr. Barry Scott's 2024, when you hand them the sash to another person, tell me something that you'd like people to remember, about you when they think about you. What's something that you'd like to leave it behind that people always going to remember?
Just that it was fun and I liked having a good laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was approachable as well, that if anyone could come and talk to me. Yeah, that's all I really want from it.
I see. Okay. Last question is, if I would ask your partner, your fiance right now to describe yourself, what he would say?
For him to describe me,
Your partner, if I would ask him to describe yourself, what he would say?
I think he'd say I was kind,
Mm-hmm.
I was funny, and as I've said a few times on this, I stress about too much.
Really,
Yeah.
James?
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Just because you are kind of fast-paced person, like things to be done quick? Why is that, do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm a bit impatient at times as well. Yeah, it probably is that. I'm just impatient. Stuff needs to be done now. And if it doesn't get done now, it stresses me out.
I see. Okay, so then let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay, let's start with money.
Happy?
Okay, fear.
Sad.
Family.
Closeness.
Life.
Live it.
Love.
Enjoy it.
Religion.
Faith.
Okay, sex.
Explore.
I like that. Politics.
Controversial.
Friendship.
Important.
Desire.
Desire. Embrace.
Regret.
Don't.
Success.
Work for it.
Wish.
Believe.
Happiness.
Important.
One word for Scotland.
Beautiful.
Like that. And the last one now, Mr. Barry Scott, Mr. Barry Scott 2024, one word.
One word. I'm going to use 2 words, but it's a little word. Smash it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's pretend now I'm going to meet your fiancé, yeah? And I'm gonna ask him, tell me something very beautiful about James. Tell me something that you've learned with him, something that, since you've known him for a year now, what's something that stands out when you think about James? What he would say?
I think he would say, I'm hoping it'll be good what he says. I would say he would say I was loving.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Like I do care for him, obviously, but I care for my friends, my family. I just want them all to be happy and have what they want in life.
You come across, talking to you, James, you come across a very positive person, approachable. Am I right? You always been this way?
I try to be. I try to be for other people. Sometimes, as I said, I need to take some of my own advice, but I try to be. Yeah.
And why do you think sometimes you don't take your own advice? What do you think is holding you back regarding that?
I think it's just due to my past. There was like a lot of time in my past when I was told you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. It's still that little voices at the back of your head, still, and your mind can be a horrible thing sometimes. So I think it's just that little voice that no, 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 no. So yeah.
I totally get your point, James. I think those, it's interesting saying that. And I totally agree because, we have part of our lives when you were younger, when you didn't have much information out there, and those voices can be very strong and we can hold back with us, you know what I mean? Something that's always going to be there. And sometimes, of course, the older you get, somehow you kind of, you put this voice a little bit, low. You understand that, you kind of control a little bit, but still there. And it's always going to be there somehow. And as an adult, you learn how to navigate through it, and you get stronger and know how to deal with. However, it's still there. I totally get your point. Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's play now, James, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, James, you can ask me a question now. But before you ask me the question, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they would like to sign up, to become, a Mr. Bear, Scotland, or any other title as a Mr. What would be your best piece of advice?
Do it. Do not let that little voice in your head stop you. Go and do it. You'll enjoy the process. Even if you don't win, like the other guys that was on it with me, we became good friends. We all still chat. Like, just enjoy it. Like, go with it. And as I said, what's the worst? No one's going to die. Go for it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, so if you were to be an actor for one day, who would it be and why?
Oh my God, I love your question. And I had over 1,000 interviews. I don't think anyone asked this question like this way. Wow, well done. Okay, one actor for one day. My God, that's okay. The first person that came to my mind is, there's a story behind, and I'm going to explain why. First, I'm going to tell. So his name is William Hurt. He already passed away. I'm not sure if you know him, William Hurt. He's an American guy. He was in a few series as well. And I'm going to send you, you just put William Hurt on Google, it's going to come. I'm sure you know him. And I'm going to tell you why I would be one day in his skin. When I was, a few years ago, I was working in one of hotels in London, yeah. And we had a lot of celebrities there. We had a lot of actors, directors, singers. And one day I was working room service in this hotel. And so somebody called me from the room to bring, I think it was some coffee or something in the room. So I went to the room and I rang the bell, and William Hurt opened the door. And I didn't know who he was at the time. I didn't know who he was. So, I went to the room and, I put the tray on the table and I asked him to sign the bill. And he was looking at me and he was like, "Are you Brazilian?" And I said, "Yes, I'm from Brazil, originally from Brazil." And he said to me, "Look, in the 90s or in the 80s, he said that he did like an event in Brazil that the response from the audience was the best, unique, yeah." So I said, "Oh, that's amazing." And he was very friendly with me. He was talkative. And the way he said, I said, "Okay, he might be a movie director. He might be something connected with this business, yeah." And so after that, when I left the room, of course, I Googled his name and I found out who he was. And I would like to be in his skin just for a day, James, because I just the fact that when I met him for the first time, I didn't know who he was, and after that, I kind of got to see who he was. And he stayed in the hotel for a month or so. He was doing like a movie or something in London, and he was so polite. He was so kind, not just with me, but with everyone in the hotel. Like the housekeeping girls, they loved him. People from concierge, people from reception, everyone just fell in love with him because he was so down to earth. So I'd love to be in his skin for one day, for just to learn something. And he's been big moves as well, just to be part of the two words he was on, like as a movie star, and also this kind person that I met, without knowing who he was. So yeah, right now I would say William Hurt for sure.
I know the name, so I'm going to have to Google it. So I probably will know
Yeah,
who he is. I know the
I'm
name,
sure.
but I just can't
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I'm sure. Sadly, he passed away, I think, not long ago. And when I heard the news, I was like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe it." And I remember he's been in the hotel so many times afterwards, and he was so sweet and kind. And he won the Oscar for Best Actor, I think 1982, for the Kiss of the Spider Woman. The Kiss of the Spider Woman, I think, was he played a transvestite
Oh, right,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, so he won the best actor at this time. Anyway, after just give a Google, you're gonna see who he was. I'm talking
Oh,
about. I'm
okay,
sure you know
definitely.
him.
Hello.
So yes, good question. My God, I love the question. Put me
Yeah.
in spots. Did you enjoy the interview, James?
I did. It was really, really fun. Yeah, definitely. I was
Thanks.
quite nervous, but before I
Oh,
came on, but I watched a few of your videos today, and I actually just before I came on, I watched Mr. Vice Germany is coming on Reds. So
uh,
I've spoke to him before. He was probably one of the first Mr. Bears we kind of spoke. So
really?
yeah, I was like, "Oh, Red's done it. If Reds can do it, he's encouraged me, and I've encouraged him before. You'll be fine."
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. I love, people who participate on the show. There's a lot of communities out there that people know each other, and that's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
James, I'm going to tell you something. I'm so glad that we connect today. I think you've been very open about your life, and it's very inspiring to know that I can see how much you're enjoying this life right now. And I think,
Yeah.
all of us, we go through, challenge time in the past, but I believe that everything happens for a reason. And, it molds the person we are today. I think everything counts, the negative and the positive as well. And when you say that you are living your happiest life right now, I think it's amazing to see, because it's great, because we go through a lot in life, and also for you to be holding this title, I think it's amazing for you that you was expecting, you just sign up for it for fun, and there you go, you got the title. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I
Yeah.
love that. I think it's very inspiring as well. So thanks again for taking the
No,
time.
thank you for taking time. Thank you.
Thanks for being so open and to be here on the show. But before you go, if you can
Mhm.
share a positive message or a quote or anything that you live by.
Oh, I live by. I once had a psychotherapy session with a job I done, and it was a
Yeah.
group session. And this man, most amazing man ever, I can't remember his name, but he was just one of these men. When you listen to him, you could just listen to him all day. Everything he said was gospel, and what he said to us, and it literally changed my life. He's like, always think you're 10 out of 10, and if there's anybody around you that doesn't think you're 10 out of 10, they shouldn't be in your life. And
Wow.
honestly, it
That's,
changed my life.
that's powerful. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Totally agree. Beautiful. Thanks
Thank you
again.
very much.
Regards to your family and to your kids and also to your fiancé. And you keep in touch. Okay. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Yes, definitely, William. Take care. Thank you very much. Have a
Take
lovely night.
care. Have a
Take
good
care.
night. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.